You know what is one of my least favorite things ever, David?
Chris Hansen exposing your favorite game, Roblox.
How fucking dare you? How fucking dare you try and turn this bit against me right in the intro of this new video, this portion of this video where I'm trying to. You know what? I don't hate that, but you know what I do hate?
What do you hate?
I hate when the corporate overlords cancel our video games, David. Wow. I hate when we're given the promise that a game is going to come out. It's got 16 times the graphics, and it's just like we promised the world from these executives at E3. Actually, E3 is not a thing anymore, but we promised the world.
That got cancelled too.
That got cancelled as well. No, but we're promised the world, and our dreams are just crushed. But look, in today's video, I wanted to let's just pretend we're as wealthy as the Saudis, David, and we can spend an infinite amount of money. And rather than spending our money on acquiring EA, we're going to use this money for good, and we're going to restore some cancelled projects which the fans were clamoring for. So I thought you and I would just go through a couple. I've selected a few, you've selected a few cancelled games, and just kind of go through them and I don't know, I guess what happened to them, or which games we would like to restore and resurrect from the cancelled game graveyard. So did you want to start this list off with a game?
Well, I'd love to start this list off. So the video game industry is one of the biggest industries in entertainment. It's bigger than movies, television shows, music, I would say as well. And we are very blessed to obviously get the games that are released. But it always is disappointing just to see some games that we get to see a glimpse of. We get to see what they're trying to do with it, and then eventually
just gets ripped away from us. It just gets fucking ripped away from us.
Those bastards. Those bastards. Yeah. And that is always heartbreaking, but it is just the space in this industry that not all games are going to be made.
Yeah,
and unfortunately,
it sucks, man, because it's our fault too. Because
exactly,
didn't we know that we didn't want a live service game? Like, I thought us as the consumer would know it by now that what we do want is live service games. But I just, for some reason, I don't buy them. I don't pick them up.
I just want that battle pass. I just want
them to re-release a Suicide Squad game.
I just want another hero shooter. So when obviously we were discussing this to come up with a list, I decided to think about some games that I was really excited for that eventually, unfortunately, fall off the face of the earth just because of how this industry works. One that came to my mind immediately, I don't know if you have this, but it's going to be, and I'm going to give my first choice to Hideo Kojima's Silent Hills.
Oh shit, that's a good one. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, the marketing of this game was genius behind the playable demo or playable teaser PT. I remember sitting in my friend's Jeff living room while we were playing PT, trying to figure out how we, beat the playable teaser, and then get a surprise at the end with Norman Reedus, Hideo Kojima, the new Silent Hills game. And I never played Silent Hill before in my life, and I thought, wow, the teaser brought me in, just drew me in so much. This might be the first time I will play a Silent Hill game. And I thought I was hyped. I was so hyped. But unfortunately, the relationship between Konami and Kojima kind of
fizzled out,
got worse. We know the story. They fired him, they cancelled the game, they barred him from the Game Awards, they did a lot of dodgy things.
Yeah, so you bring that game back?
If I had the money, I would bring that game back because I was looking so forward to it, and I don't think we got to see Hideo Kojima's full vision of that universe for that game, and I would love to see it alive.
Do you remember, I think it was after it was announced that the project was cancelled, there was this massive uproar, and then it was almost like this aftermarket of anyone who still had it installed on their PS4s. It was like people were selling their PS4s for an absolute premium, so that way people could still play it.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was over a couple grand. That some people selling PS4. It became a rare item because Konami was just pulling it from the PlayStation store.
It makes me wonder. I genuinely wonder. Obviously we live in this alternate reality where we have Death Stranding and all that stuff, which is amazing, of course. But I really wonder, like, if that relationship between Konami and, I was going to say, and Metal Gear, and Kojima, if that never fizzled out, I really wonder, would we have a Metal Gear Solid 6 by now? And, like, would we have, would we have a new franchise of Silent Hills? Like, I mean, shit, if maybe Silent Hill 2 remake and the Silent Hill F, maybe that wouldn't exist if this relationship didn't fizzle out. And of course, everyone's favorite game, Metal Gear Survive, that wouldn't exist either, which is a shame. But I think that is an excellent pick for your first game.
Yeah. That great pick. For me, that was like my number one. I thought immediately because anything Hideo Kojima, I love. He's a bit eccentric, and some people may not like him, but that man knows how to make games and feet. He knows how to do feet. Yeah,
and he knows how to scan the hell out of some Tootsies. You know what I mean?
No.
So my first pick is probably going to be a bit cliche, a little bit boring. I'm going to go Star Wars 1313. So this, I believe it was EA, not EA. It was E3. Maybe 2012 or 2013, there was a cinematic trailer for it, and it kind of looked like a bit more of a scoundrel-focused game. But when Disney acquired Lucasfilm in 2012-2013, LucasArts shifted away from internal game development to reduce risk and laid off many staff, which is, it's just depressing. Classic. It just happens all throughout. Classic. The tale as old as time in the gaming industry, which is fucking depressing. But anyway, so all internal projects, including 1313, were put on hold, then cancelled, which is just fucking depressing, dude. But not much is really known about the game. Like, again, it looked like visually the vibe, it actually reminded me a lot of Dead Space, but it was like more like a third person over the shoulder like action. So maybe a bit of Gears of War as well. But I just figured a game like that in the Star Wars universe, and I think it was set on Coruscant as well. Anything on that city planet just has me hooked, line and sinkered. I would buy it. I'd pay hand over fist to be able to play a game with anything Star Wars related, to be honest. But I was
also very excited for Star Wars 1313 because it just looks so different. It was a new take, a new story. I don't think any Star Wars fan got to experience this to play as a young Jango Fett. Was that Boba Fett? I can't remember. It was Jango.
I don't think it was either. I think it was like new characters, but like it was kind of like a Han Solo-esque kind of character.
Yeah, and it looked incredible. I remember seeing that trailer, and I was very excited for it. But the mouse said no. He was like, cancel it. And unfortunately, we never going to see it. The big cheese.
Yeah, what's your second game?
That's a great choice, obviously, and I would love to actually play it. So my second choice, this one's a very most recent one. This is a recent cancellation. Can you guess what it is? Can you guess? Ooh. Mystery surrounds me.
Is it the Suicide Squad?
Yes, no. This one was one I was really excited for because of just one mechanic that this developer was going to implement in this game, and it's one of my favorite mechanics that I wish that other games were able to adopt it, but the publisher decided to patent lock this for the next 15 years. So no one has access to this, and no one can
sounds familiar, but I don't know what it could be.
And no one can use this because the publisher is an evil corporate warlord, and I hate the publisher, but that is WB's Wonder Woman game, which would have introduced the Nemesis system from the Shadow of Wars and Shadow of Mordor video games into the universe, into the DC universe. Do you know what the Nemesis system is?
Okay, so the Nemesis system was introduced in the Shadow of War game in the Lord of the Rings universe, and basically it's like, if you would, say, encounter certain enemies or defeat enemies within the web of enemy, officers or whatever, they will have unique dialogue and they'll remember you. They'll potentially have grudges with you and stuff like that. Yep. Which I don't know how you can patent something like that, because that kind of just feels like normal game design. But somehow they can patent that. WB,
good WB. But I was really looking forward to this game because it had that system in it, and I fell in love with it within the Shadow of War and Lord of the Rings universe, and I was really excited to play as Wonder Woman and have her own game because I think she's a great DC character as well, and I was looking forward to experiencing what they were going to obviously make with that. But WB were like, no, James Gunn bought us out. No. They're like, no, and unfortunately they cancelled it. We never got to see any gameplay or any concepts for us. We don't know what stage the game was at, but if I had the money, I would definitely like to revive this game and see what they were cooking with this.
God damn it, dude. They fucking cancelled the Snyderverse and now they cancelled this as well. What the fuck, WB? I'm officially boycotting the new DCU.
What did The Rock always used to say? The hierarchy.
Oh, the hierarchy of the power of the universe is about to change.
Oh, he was right. He was right. You goddamn it, Smashing Machine, you were right.
I cry at festivals now. Anyway, so...
What's your second pick?
Okay, so I've actually got a few. So I think, I know I reached out to you today. I'm like, look, I'm finding it hard to come up with some. So why don't we just do 3 each? But I actually do have 5. So I'm going to power through them.
Oh, you son of a...
I know. So look, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to have 2 more and then maybe an honorable mention. How's that sound? So
Okay.
One of them that I wanted to talk about is The Last of Us Online.
You son of a... That's my third choice.
Is it actually? Okay, yeah. Is it actually? Okay, well,
you
how about this?
Of a bitch.
I'll treat this one. I'll treat this one as my honorable mention. Then, so look, I'm not a massive live service fan, but I was really bummed to hear when this bad boy got cancelled back in December of 2023. So fans of the original factions multiplayer were super keen on this one. I'm registering myself as a fan, and basically, obviously myself included, I was really excited for this. And yeah, from what I remember, I think it was Sony or Naughty Dog that basically just said that they didn't want to put all that studio resource behind it for years post-launch. And to that I say,
Destiny?
Obviously, of course you're going to have to put resources into something that's a live service game, you fucking
What do you
idiot.
mean I have to spend more money?
You mean that I have to make something, call it a live service game, and then I have to look after it as a live service after I release it to the public? Oh no!
What is this, a child? I don't want this.
I don't know. The only thing that I can say is that if we could restore it and then maybe just have it as... I'm going to use the example of Call of Duty or Battlefield. I'm not saying make it fucking Call of Duty or Battlefield, but I'm just saying, like, when you get a new Call of Duty game, you expect it to be like, okay, for the life cycle of this year, it's going to be, sustained multiplayer, but that's basically it, really. Like, if they just did something like that, I think that would have been really cool. But yeah, that's one that I had down. I wonder what your next one is going to be.
I don't know if I should comment on it now or wait till you list the other ones.
Well, why don't you build off of that? Why don't you add to what I just said?
I was extremely excited for the faction mode to come out for the sequel, the fan-made game called The Last of Us Part 2 that was fan-made by Naughty Dog. I was a massive fan of The Last of Us factions in the first game. I thought it was such a unique premise of a multiplayer game. Essentially 4v4, you pick your faction and you have to, each game that you play will be deathmatch or some game modes, you would get supplies at the end of how well you did if your team won or if you perform well, and those supplies would go to your camp of survivors, and your population would grow, your survivors would be happy and hungry and healthy. And then obviously if you did well, if you did awful, more people start to get sick and then they'll start to die. And it also had this really cool feature in the first game where you could link your Facebook account to your PSN for The Last of Us factions, and then the survivors will be replaced by your friends. So
that's sick.
it was so cool because it gave me more like drive to win the game, because like an example, it would be like, Lennon is gathering supplies, or Lennon is sick, or Lennon has died. I'm like, no, Lennon, no, no, my boy.
That's awesome.
So when the sequel,
this is completely unrelated. I just had a thought. And maybe it's because I've been playing so much fucking Assassin's Creed lately. It genuinely is nothing to do with what you were just talking about. But before we were joking about The Last of Us Part 2, I did recently think to myself when reflecting on Assassin's Creed 3, remember how that game, it's like the first fucking 6 hours of that game, you play as Haytham Kenway or whatever his name is, and everyone fucking hated it. But then the rest of the game, it's like, oh wow, this is actually really good. I'm finally playing as a character that is on the actual cover of the fucking game.
Yeah.
I wonder to myself, if The Last of Us Part 2 had it so that way you play as Abby first and then play all the way up until the confrontation with Joel, spoiler, and then, the rest of the game is Ellie's story from her perspective leading up to that moment. Then the incident finally happens and then you actually see what happens to Joel and you're like, oh my God, this is fucked. And it doesn't happen right at the start of the game. It happens when their paths converge. And then you continue seeing her POV of her trying to seek revenge on Abby. I wonder if the game would have been received better if it was done in that order rather than the other way around.
Yeah, and that's a really interesting point that you raised.
And I guess we'll never get an answer for.
Guess we're never going to get an answer for because The Last of Us 2 is not canon. No, I'm kidding. So anyway, when The Last of Us 2 was coming out, I was really excited to obviously play it again. Power of hindsight. And I was really excited for the multiplayer factions because, when the game was getting released, you're like, oh, it's going to have factions too, right? Because factions 1 was so popular. And then Neil Drunkman was like, oh, jokes, by the way, factions is not coming out because we've been spending all our time just developing the best single player, and doing air quotation marks in my hand right now, experience for The Last of Us Part 2. We'll release the factions at a later time. And I'm like, okay, yep. We hear nothing, and then they're like, hey, here's a live service of The Last of Us factions where it's just gonna be a dedicated, live service game where it'll be factions, but factions number 2 where we have this and that and this. And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. I am so pumped for this. I am so ready for this. And then in December 2022, they're like, actually, we're canceling it. Yeah, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. It's going to cost us too much money to maintain. And I was like, what did you think it was going to cost? Do you think it was going to be for free? It broke my heart. I was so disappointed because there's no other experience like factions anywhere else that I have found.
That scratches the same itch.
It just scratches an itch. And I was so heartbroken and just so devastated. And I remember reading the comments of people were like, you know what, I understand where Naughty Dog's coming from. Like, they're defending the big corporation. Like, yeah, I get why they're doing this. Like, no, let's not defend them. Let's be outraged. Let's be annoyed that they wanted to do something. They wanted to promise us something. And then at the last minute, they go, you know what, nah, I don't feel like it. Because I think they could have killed it. They could have killed at having that live service game. But unfortunately, we're never going to see it. And if I had the money, I would invest so much money into it because I would love to play factions with The Last of Us 2 gameplay mechanics, or even better mechanics. God damn you, cuck, man. God damn it.
Well, what I'll do is just trying to be mindful of the time as well, so I might just quickly go through one more from my end, and then we'll go into what games that we've been playing this week. Actually, I'll do a two-parter. So my next one is going to be Battlefront 3. So that was the original one that was going to come out from Free Radical Design, and they started
that one out.
Did you cut that one out?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Because I had fun.
I'll quickly throw this one in. So basically, it was roughly between 2006 until its cancellation in 2008. It was a very ambitious project. Some may say too ambitious, David. And it intended to have large-scale battles, space-to-ground combat. You can fight on the planet, then hop into a spacecraft, fly into space, fucking find Mario floating around up there, trying to find his, his stars, and also while he's getting cucked by Peach. And then you can also dock into a capital ship. And just the technical requirement to pull off all these features was just too much. And then apparently, you did a video on this where apparently there was also a potential mismanagement. No, you did a video on it, and apparently there was also a bit of like mismanagement of funds and a bit of dishonesty going on there as well.
Bit of backhand deals.
Yeah, but an honorable mention. So the reason why I'm going to say it's an honorable mention is because technically it hasn't been cancelled. And I do hope it isn't cancelled, but just with the state of Bungie, it just wouldn't surprise me if they end up pulling the plug on it. But I want to quickly say Marathon. Did you know that Marathon was actually scheduled for a release exactly 1 week ago? It was meant to be out by now.
I am going to sound very ignorant here. What the hell is Marathon?
You've never heard of Marathon?
Is this like a new Bungie game that was meant to be coming out?
I don't know if you're pulling my dick right now. Like,
no, I'm drawing a massive blank here.
So, so Marathon was a new shooter that Bungie was coming out with, and it was like, it had a play test. It didn't review too well, and then they ended up getting in a lot of hot water because apparently a lot of the art assets that were used in the game were plagiarized. So they ended up having to announce publicly, they were just like, hey, we're indefinitely delaying this game. One of the artists, he's done Love, Death and Robots.
Yes.
Chick shaking about in the water or whatever. A lot of that is one of the artists or one of the primary artists, I think. But anyway,
right.
Some assets were stolen from some other online artists, and then they got in some hot water. Bungie says it's not cancelled. They've explicitly stated that Marathon is still in development and not cancelled, but yeah, I don't know. I'm basically just mentioning it here because I do think Bungie need to win. They're typically incredible at designing amazing gunplay feel, and I don't know, I would just love to see this released in a full version without the obvious issues, of course, and just to see Bungie step away from the dying carcass, which is Destiny, and to see them actually focusing just solely on a new project. I think that would be really great. To be fair though, I don't think there was visually like a mass appeal behind Marathon. People want to go to space. Well, there you go. People want to go to space. People want to like be wrapped up in this amazing lore. It's kind of like, what's that? The finals, that shooter where they had all the destruction and all that stuff.
Yeah, they're called the finals.
The finals. Yeah, and that on a technical level looks incredible, but I just don't see the hype behind it anymore. Like, when it first came out, I remember everyone was talking about it, and it was just like, holy shit, this is like revolutionary, but it just didn't feel that special outside of its destruction. I don't know. It's just, I don't think that's enough of a selling point or a gimmick for people. And, the only company that I think, or the series that has capitalized on something like that is Battlefield, and that's basically it. But did you have anything else you wanted to add before we move on?
No, nothing to add on. This is honestly some really, really great picks from you, and hopefully one day these games will see the light of day, but maybe not. I don't think so.
I don't think so, but hey man, look, fucking with the Saudis, anything can happen. What can I say? But all right, okay. So let's move on to the next segment, which, as always, we bless the listeners with. Hey, would you look at that? You've made it through the entirety of this episode. Congratulations. This video is just one section of our weekly gaming podcast called Last Week in Gaming Today. If you're interested in checking out the full episode or more discussions like the one you've just watched, I'll leave a link to the podcast in the description and comment section below.